And then basically when the reflex starts, we set everything up, make sure that you're happy with it, nothing in the go. Okay, can we get all the athletes together, please? If everybody goes this way for now, let's do some briefing, let's discuss some of the movements and what we're looking for. Okay, hello everyone, my name is Watch. This is Olivia, she's going to be one of the judges alongside myself, so I'll be on one leg, Olivia's going to be on the other. We've also got Heidi with us, she's going to be counting the reps, and Karina, okay? Those are going to be the ladies that will be notifying you how many reps you have done. They will be counting out loud. If we count a no rep, then they will have to discount one. They'll also be prompting you to move on to the next stage, okay, to the next exercise. Does that make sense? So if you're not sure, if you're wondering, first of all, don't count your reps, let them do the counting. If you're not getting counted, you might need to tidy up your form, make sure you get the lockouts, etc. Okay, but you can always just be like, what's going on? Okay, they are the people to speak to, and they don't bite, certainly less than I do. Okay, just let's double check. Who's competed before? Okay, who hasn't? Raise your hands. Okay, so we've got a couple of newbies. First time competing, or first several competitions, is all about the experience for you guys, okay? The day is for you, this is your stage, this is an opportunity for you guys to have a highlight of your training, okay? Try and make this fun for yourself. I know it's a race, I know the stakes feel like they're, the highest they ever been since GCSEs, but realistically, this is just an opportunity for you to have a highlight of your recent training block, okay? Whatever pace you think you need to be going at, half it, okay? Our expectations are going to be really high in terms of execution. Nothing but perfect rep will be counted, okay? So do the best that you can do in order to have your reps valid. It's very, very important to get them right because not only are you, by missing a rep, you're obviously wasting your energy, so you're taking that power away from yourself, that energy for the next rep, and you're adding additional amount of time, okay? So I'd rather you go at half the pace that you think you need to be going at, and get all of your reps counted, okay? You're gonna have a much easier time if you just pace yourself. Take your time, breathe whenever you need to, okay? 60 reps, it feels like a three months worth of leg days to me as well. So, yeah, just pace yourself. If you have any questions throughout the briefing or just prior to your run, if you're concerned about your positioning, like your setup, the height of the box and stuff like that, raise it prior to your run, okay? At the end of the day is for you guys, not for us or for the audience, okay? It's all about you. Let's get it right, okay? You're in charge of moving your boxes. When we're doing muscle ups here, or the first exercise on here, and then we're going to be swapping the other way around, okay? This is to make sure that you have to travel exactly the same amount between both of the lengths, yeah? So nobody's disadvantaged. Does that make sense? So we just start staggered. If you're starting on this side, you finish on the other side of the bar, so you travel exactly the same back away towards the wall and back from it. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions to begin with? If not, I'll start going over the movement standard with Olivia and set the expectations. As far as I'm aware, ladies are going first, so we'll do muscle ups still, just because it flows nicely. We'll cover pull-ups second. Okay. Right. Let's get started. We're going to have one of your athletes in one of these positions and the other one there. Your judge will be facing opposite you. Okay. In order to make the rep easy for the judge to validate, we obviously go after the command go. We said muscle ups as well. So I'm already on pull-ups. Okay. Somebody's going to shout 3, 2, 1, go. On the go, we swing, perform the muscle up, pull up on the top. Okay. What I don't want to see is you guys showing off like this. Okay. that does not display lockout and control. That just means you may have locked out your elbows, but you're nowhere near the bar. Okay, so make it evident. Stop on top of the bar. You really don't need to be trying to impress anyone. If it means you're gonna finish later because you're just literally using up all of that explosive power rather than trying to be sensible about it. Okay. This is more to do with validating your rep, but also kind of planning and strategizing for the set. Trying to give you as much help as possible, so you don't hate me as much when I know rep you to oblivion. What we're looking at for men's muscle ups, obviously, fully locked out legs, no initial leg drive. Okay, so we don't want the hips to be piking until you're crossing over the bar with your chest. Okay, so it's absolutely fine to be laying down on the bar and then locking out on top. Okay, again, if you're chilling there for half a day and shaking your hands off, this will break up your rep. It will be an invalid rep. Okay. This is just meant only ladies. You don't have to freak out. What else? So no knee bend, no chicken winging. Again, hopefully 8 muscle ups in the first go. You should be fresh and strong. Wish you all the best. If you know you're not going to be able to maintain the same form on your first rep and on your last rep as you're performing any of these movements, really, just break them up. Okay. There's no point of rushing ahead, wasting loads of energy, and then making yourself less likely to actually be able to do it the same way. If I see you do a really good job on the first rep, I expect that form to be consistent throughout the whole set. Okay? Yes, please.
If you're going to break up, make sure when you come down from your rep, you still go to the lockout. Don't get to the top of the bar and be like, I'm chill here and just put back onto the box.
So technically, your rep will be countable on top. But if you just basically drop back onto the box rather than into the hand and then back off, then it might be invalidated, okay? Same with wall walks, going from wall walks to diamonds. You gotta make sure you touch the chest at the end of the wall walk before you get your arms straight back and reposition for diamonds. We'll talk about that later. What else there is in muscle ups? Any inconsistency, any generating power of the lower body, downward movement in the transition, so something like this. That will also invalidate your rep, okay? It is what it is, just plan ahead, okay? If you can do 1 muscle up, you can complete 8 muscle ups as individual reps, okay? If there is any injuries, if you can't lock out one of the arms or anything like that, please let us know prior, because that's not your fault. If you have a limitation or an injury, just let us know so we can kind of plan ahead. And instead of watching one side, we'll watch the other side to make sure that we are seeing the lockouts. Okay, gentlemen, any questions about the muscle ups at all? Okay, feeling positive, feeling good about it, yeah. Just as I said, just do your best. Try whatever you can get, whatever you can do in training for a couple of reps. Try to maintain that kind of form throughout. Okay. Muscle up is an upper body exercise. Make sure we don't use the legs for it. Okay, everybody happy to move on to pull-ups? Okay. So your pull-up begins with locked out arms on top. I don't care if you're passive or active. We will allow a little bit of a stretch reflex on the bottom. So if you know you're struggling with that bottom position, a little bit of a rebound on the bottom. I won't be discounting those reps. When it comes to the height of the pull-up, we're not only looking for you to cross the horizontal axis of the bar, okay? We're also looking for you to cross the vertical axis of the bar, which means your chin doesn't only have to be higher than the bar, also needs to be faster. Okay, here. That's where I want to see it. Okay, there is not that many pull-ups. If you pace yourself, if you treat it like a training day, not like a dying and fighting for your life, you should be able to complete every single rep. Okay. The reason why we ask for it is because, one, I don't have a spirit level to see if your chin made the level of the bar here. Another thing is your judge is watching you from across the room, so they need to be able to see that you not only did you cross the height, but you're also on top of it. Okay. If I was right in front of you and looking up, that chin should still appear over the bar. Okay. This is in your interest to make sure your reps are valid. We don't see the typical. I know there's so many competitions, and the standard has been so varied throughout UK. We'll try to do our best to keep it as uniform across all of the country and hopefully eventually in the world as well. But these kind of pull-ups will not count, okay? There's a reason why we're doing calisthenics, and calisthenics means beauty and strength. We want to be emphasizing that rather than doing CrossFit, okay? Otherwise, what's the point of calling this calisthenics? A little bit of a biking towards the top of your pool, like here. That will be okay, as long as it's not something that generates momentum, okay? So if you're grinding the last rep out and you physically can't stop yourself from biking, that will still be a valid rep. But as you're going, that will invalidate your rep, okay? Because there's a little bit of fling, a little bit of inertia going on. Does that make sense? Any questions? Okay, it's always better to ask. Don't worry, I won't bite you yet. Yes, sorry?
How much leeway of like movements do you have using your muscle?
So in terms of actual swing on the right?
No, so you know when you go to the pole, how where your legs are allowed to be.
Ideally, you want the legs to stay down until you're basically around here. At that point, you can start folding, okay? So let's go with something. I mean, Oliver can validate that. Maybe I'll go to another rep. But,
Yep, that's fine.
that will be like the limit, okay?
Is it okay to put dynamic pull-ups but still keeping your core strength or better doing that? I mean, about going lower, do we need to control this movement or can we just...
So the negative speed doesn't matter as long as you come to basically a standstill on the bottom, okay? It's really hard for us to validate the lockout on the bottom if you're constantly in movement, okay? Same on top, same on bottom. Just make it slightly evident that you're coming to basically a little bit of a dead stop, okay?
Basically, we can't judge it in the rep.
Yeah.
So if there's not a clear thing, if we're in any doubt, like it's too fast, I can see it, it's going to be in the rep.
Yeah, this is particularly prominent on dips and press-ups, where people go so fast, I can't tell if that was a lockout or not, therefore I invalidate your rep, and you're wasting your energy, and you're adding precious seconds to your time. Okay, any other questions about that? Again, ask as many as you want. You want to feel strong and confident going into this, okay? All right, let's move on to wall walks. So we've got two lanes, right? Whoever's been on this side is going to be using this side of the wall. Make sure to try to stay away from the judges and the other outfit. We're trying not to sabotage each other. You can get closer, guys. Don't be shy. Although my feet probably stink. Touching the chest to the wall. Ideally, you want to keep a relatively straight posture. Just make it evident that you've made full range. Yeah? You made it all the way to the wall. Your chest touched it. Your legs are still in contact with the wall when your chest touches. And when you come down, you need to lay flat to the floor. Okay? So we'll do it like this. Touch the chest. Okay. I don't care if you drop like such shit. Okay.
Sorry, questions this. Do you think we need to do a push-up first and then
Ideally, again, this is going to be a little bit of gray area because wall walks aren't very common on strength and response. But you want to basically come to this position. Then if you come up like this, and then you get the knees up, or you do a floor press up. Both of them are fine.
the other question I have, do we have to get on the wall before we start showing our hands?
As I know, you pike and then do your feet up.
Yeah, as in, you have it to kind of hard, but then suddenly you have two feet on, and I just do that, as in I walk with my hands first.
I don't mind. Again, the two main points is chest on the floor, chest touching the wall, legs are staying square, within the width of the hips. No funky business, not bending the knees and coming off the wall and touch it. Again, obviously accidents happen, you might fall off the wall and stuff, just restart by touching the chest. Try again, okay? It's really hard when somebody's doing like a half rep, and then they drop and they complete it, and you go, cool, was that a no rep and completely discounted? Or they went down halfway, they recovered, and then they were still counted. It's basically leave us no concerns. But how you get up to the wall is within personal preference, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the movements where CrossFit kind of over-engineered this. Let's just keep it simple. Chest to the floor, chest to the wall, and back down. Before you move on to your diamonds or push-ups, You gotta make sure that your chest lands on the floor. Then you're gonna position yourself with thumbs and pointing fingers together, and all the rep will count as long as your chest touches the hands, and then we'll recover. Okay? And elbows are displayed in a row out. Now, whilst you're doing this, again, this is really difficult to judge, so you gotta make sure you do the best job. Tense your core as you're dragging out to prevent warming or fighting. So this would be an invalid rep. Okay, because the hips didn't travel as much. Or if they travel like this, you basically lifted the shoulders and then you lifted your hips. Okay? It needs to be a primary pushing exercise. Same thing if you do this. Okay? You're spiking your hips and your shoulders need to travel the same amount of distance. Okay? Over exaggerating it is fine, rather than not moving the hips enough and getting them reps, because then you're just wasting energy and not time. Just keep your glutes tight, tense your core as you drive out. Okay?
And your feet need to be together or apart.
Yeah, ideally, feet touching. Okay? I mean, if you're doing that, this is definitely going to be a long rep. If at some point you do this,
It's not advanced, it's not advanced.
that's it.
I'd say
Yeah, so squeezing legs together helps improve engagement, so I encourage keeping feet together. I'll be more rep on it if I was doing DR.Calisthenics.
How hard can you lunge?
Sorry?
How hard can you lunge?
Oh, however hard you want.
Depends on if you used to make it.
perfect one here.
Yeah, so if you guys can look at the emails that have been sent, like let's say you got loose clothing and it dangles like my shirt, it's really hard for us to be able to tell. If we're like, that maybe was a rep, we should give it to you because we don't want to be disadvantaging the athletes on our error. But ideally, if you keep it fitting and make it evident that you're touching the floor every single time, then it'll be fine. Obviously, if you drop down, you rest, you recover halfway, you come back down, and then you still recover, that's a full no rep. Okay, you have to start all over again. Okay, because it doesn't like downwards movement halfway through when it should be a movement upwards. Okay? Otherwise, it makes it very difficult for highly and to count your reps if you start doing it at 1.5, and it's hugely disadvantageous for your strength as well, for power and energy. Okay, happy to move on? Obviously, I will also say, across all the reps, if you make a very slight pause between every single rep, give yourself time to kind of catch a breath and talk in the lockout, you're making it my and Olivia's job much easier to give you the rep than if you basically go. Okay? So just pause on the top of each one. Trust me, like there's so many reps to get through, unless you're like some super high level athlete like Twitter, or a world champion. That's not the pace I can keep up and not basically fall apart and not be able to actually do this as quickly as I could. I just want a little bit slower. Okay? Any questions, anything to add? Okay? Let's move on to our squats. I'll pick up the later. Okay. We're not super fast when you're holding the kettlebell here or resting it on your chest. We're slightly lower. I would encourage to keep your elbows stuck under your wrist. You can hold it like this, hold it like that, hold it like this. Whatever is comfortable for you so you don't end up dropping it on your feet or on our judges or sending it down your competitor's way. Okay? Remember, you're not just competing against the person on the other lane, you're competing against all of the people in your category. So just focus on it and make sure you kind of don't drop it because then you have to do an extra swap to pick it back up again. Now, in terms of the movement that we look for, if you want to make my job easy, I know this, push your hips through at the end. Okay? So it's like a little hip thrust. What other athletes are doing it just makes it evident that we have achieved the triple extension, like knees, hips, shoulders, straight line, yeah? Over exaggerating the line, achieve the same outcome as just going straight. And when it comes to the depth, I want the hip to go below the knee, okay? I know we'll do my FC throughout the day because we have lower expectations for beginners and intermediates with average then get into the sport. Suddenly, you guys are, green with the crop. We gotta hit that, all right? Also, we're not doing 150 kilo squats, so hopefully achieving the hip below the knee will be manageable. And at the end, just push your hips through, just to make it evident for us, okay? And it gives you a little bit of resting time at the top there, rather than having to go. Okay, although some of you might be able to get away with that pace. I'll have thumbs already. Okay. Any question on the squats? Yes, my friend.
You said we can't drop it, but does that mean we can't put it down at all?
You can. I'm just saying I encourage you not to drop it for the sake of your feet, everybody else's feet.
No, not drop it, but we can like, if we want to take it.
Okay, so at any point if you need to rest, just like put it down or hold it, whatever. You can walk about a bit for all I care, so that it doesn't walk up on the side of you. And yes, and then you can pick it back up again, however, whichever way you prefer to continue. Again, it's a heavy set. If you just don't go fast enough, too fast through the reps, you should be able to continue a nice steady pace, and then not having to add extra rest periods. Because when you start resting, yeah, you might need it if you're already blown out, but you don't know how much time you need to recover to maintain the best pace you can have. So just take it easy. Try to feel like your heart rate is about 70% as max. Okay. I know the stress adds another 30% to the rest, right? So just nice and steady with the race. I mean, I can always chip in from their experience. If you've got any tips for the athletes. But if that's everything on the squats, don't be, yeah, but you can rest at any point. When you run between the stations, make sure that you don't start doing your squats like facing away from us or whatever, and the judges are with you. It'll be more important if you are going from the bar to the wall and then back towards the bar. Okay? Make sure you're happy with your setup and then go. Okay? If you start rushing ahead to a point your mind can't keep up with what you're doing, you're gonna start making mistakes. Okay? Happy to move on to the dips? Okay. We're using these two stations. Make sure you're happy with the box position prior to the run, so there's no mishaps. If your feet are not hitting the box on the recovery, that can invalidate your rep. So make sure it's easy for you to get into position. And if you need this to be higher or lower, ask them to be adjusted prior to your run. Ideally, you don't have to be adjusting equipment before you go, because that'll just be using up a little bit of your energy. So ask ourselves to help you get it all set up so it's suitable for what you need. Okay, we're trying to make sure that the people who are vertically challenged during the race. Okay. We only care about the depth and maintaining the back of the shoulder goes below the back of the elbow, and then we recover to a full lockout. Again, this box kind of stops me from leaning too far forward, doing some silly stuff. But even some of the best athletes out there, like Mark Capture, end up doing their dips so much faster that I can't really see if they hit that or if they locked out for long enough for it to be actually on the ground. Just pinch yourself. Like there is enough rep to get through, okay? And as I said, if I can't see that you locked out, I will not rep you, and it's just unnecessary. Okay? My goal through this breathing is to make sure that you guys don't get any more reps or as little as possible. Okay?
Thank you.
Ideally, you want to have a nice steady race, feeling like you've done the best you could, and not that judge sabotage your performance. You couldn't do as well as you did because something wasn't quite right. So we're looking for lack of opening on the core on the recovery. So something like this will invalidate your rep. If you're leaning slightly forward and your legs are slightly back like this, again, I don't want the box to be affecting my performance. One of this I can jump on. You know what? Ideally, athletes shouldn't have to jump up to the box. This is just one extra thing that can go wrong after they just download the violence. So if you're not if you have a little bit of a lean, and that's the form you set at the beginning of your set, I expect it to be maintained throughout. Okay? You probably have a way that is efficient for you. As long as you're doing that and you're staying in a good total body tension throughout the movement, throughout the whole set, I'm probably going to be happy. But obviously, if we're doing this, and you might need to clean that up. I think you try to keep your feet directly below where you can see them. We translate for a little bit as we go down. Make sure you hit left. Make sure there is no wobbling. There's no swinging back. Obviously, if you don't go deep enough, we'll shout no rep. We might not be able to tell you exactly straight away what you're doing wrong. If you've done 2 or 3 no reps in a row, we'll try to give you what it is that you need to clean up. Okay? But if you take your time and you pace yourself, you shouldn't need to be corrected. Okay? Is there anything else about counted? No, I didn't count. I know this obviously reverse hold, so I didn't quite hit that. I recovered, and I go back down, and then I rep it. Still invalid reps. Okay? So I have to start from the top, go below, and then go to low count again. Okay? it needs to be like obvious for us that both me and Olivia do exactly the same job in order to make sure that you guys are all judged fairly and evenly. Okay? Well, there you go. I think that might be it. And towards the end, we finish with pull-ups. Yeah. So if wherever you were doing your first exercise on, you might want to just shimmy across and then do it on the other side of the bar. Just being mindful of that little bit of distance. Again, in the pursuit of fairness. Okay. So one athlete doesn't get closer to the bar and gets to like miss out on a step. Again, it doesn't seem like much, but if some athletes are like 1 second apart, this could be someone's grievance. Okay. And then same thing. We make sure we hang in a position that is stable. There's no movement before we bend the arms and we come to a stop on the top. Okay? If you're able to maintain good pace where there is an evident lockout like this, that'll probably be fine. But if you start swinging, you lose control, your legs are swinging, you're risking the reps. Okay? We're trying to set the standard for the world class. Unfortunately, that's you guys. Okay? Any questions before we begin and start warming up?
Can you go down on the bar for the pull-up?
Ideally, yeah, a lot, right? Or not
Can we go in the top over?
on the muscle ups, I want the thumb to go around. On the pull ups, you can go out, but there's not much advantage. You have a stronger grip with thumb around, which means you'll be able to exert more force to your upper body. Okay. Check your orders at the desks, and myself and Olivia and our team wish you all the best. Yeah, because you're going to be stuck, so you're going to not hit each other. So we may as well have you start here, okay? We'll revert to position, okay? If you're not sure about that, or you could double check with Larry, it just makes sense. Let's try you can exactly go or walk in a couple of push-ups. You got this, try to make this fun, yeah?
I mean, so when finished, are you going to sing finish or?
We're going to have Karina and Heidi shout us down.
Done. Okay, perfect. So we're just listening for. Yeah.
And how are we setting it up, right? No red, and then you don't have cheeks. It's just so the counting person can see your reps and can also see the rest that goes up again.
And it's just making sure that you've got three on So we start you were saying that. So I'll go over I expect
Settle the process, however you want it to be, and not nobody will
Just like your responsibility.
No way.
I just want to get up.
Oh, we need. Nice. I'll be watching it.
Okay, guys, we've got the first heat in the women. We've got Emma versus Katie. Three, two, one, and then go, yeah? Okay, starting in 3, 1, go!
No reps. Make sure you stop on the top.
4, 5.
Well done, well done.
Yes, moving on. Moving on. On the walls.
Come on, girls, keep it going.
Easy.
Hands together, no rep. Hands together. Fully lock out on the top. Fully lock out. No rep, no rep. 3. Feet together, hands together.
Keep going, well done.
Come on, let's go, Casey, come on. Good air. Nice, Sam. Good air. Let's go. Here we go. Go. Come on.
Yes, Katie.
Nice. Come on, get down. Good. Come on, let's go.
On the squats, yeah, when you come up, you have to thrust. I'd fail all of it.
Nice, Casey. Focus all the way through it. All the way through it. Look this. Nice, Sam.
Focus.
Go on, Katie.
Beautiful.
Go on,
Easy.
That's it.
Keep going there.
Sam, come on.
Let's go, Ren. 10 more. Come on. Nice. Ryan. Let's go. Come this way, Evan. This way you pick up him. This way you put him.
No rest. Control those legs. Seven. Yes, Sam.
Don't be shaking. Come in. Okay, Tim.
No rest. No count. Two more.
Come in, 2 more. You got it. There you go. Okay.
Let's go, Em. Come on. Finish it. Let's go.
Let's go, Casey. Come on.
Come on, Katie. One more.
Yes,
Katie, all the way through. Come on, Katie.
Go deeper.
Katie.
Deeper, deeper, deeper. Yes. Deeper. Let's go, come on. Come on, get that. Yes.
Well done, Katie. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Maybe 12 pounds, 6 on.
Yes.
Nice.
No rest left.
Shake it off.
Let them up.
Back.
Nice. Go, Casey. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Yes.
Back. Stop wasting your energy. Take your time. Get to that every single time, okay?
Let go of the bar.
Breathe, breathe.
Come on, come on in. Let's go.
Hold on. Go, Casey. Take your time.
Yes.
Nice.
Go.
Again, take it up.
That.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Again.
15 in total. There you go. I must have heard you wanted to.
The secret. Come on, you got this.
Well done.
Come on, come on.
Yes, easy, come on. Take it off, come on.
Come on, let's finish it.
Come on, Katie. That's 2 rounds. I need Darren judging me for this. She wanted to let anger on the ball. That's what does it. So I get angry with it. That's what I tell everyone. That's what I tell everyone. Get angry with it.
So Daniel, just need to get the laptop mate. Right, stand up, is that right? Yeah, man.